Hi, welcome to my channel. Thanks for stopping by. Today I'm going to show you some poinsettia flowers that I found at Kirkland, and I decided to go ahead and try and make them myself at home, and I think they turned out really great. I was really inspired by those flowers. So let's get started. You're going to need just a plain piece of paper, any type of paper, and go ahead and draw out from your fingertip to your thumb. Then swap hands and going right where you left off, tracing your other hand from fingertip to thumb once again. Good, now you have the leaf for your poinsettia plant. Now just go ahead and cut that out. And don't worry if it's not symmetrical, that's not a big deal, it doesn't matter. Now take your leaf and lay it out on your paper and just go ahead and cut about 1/4 of an inch all the way around that poinsettia leaf. And what you're doing is just making yourself an even larger template. Boy, these flowers have been so popular this year. I have seen them everywhere. Kirkland's, Hobby Lobby, it seems like everywhere I go, these flowers are just everywhere. They're so popular. And so I'm really excited that I was able to go ahead and recreate this here at home. And I hope you're going to enjoy it so that you can create them at home as well. And what I'm going to use is this scarf that I found at Dollar Tree. It has this great buffalo check pattern to it. And so we're going to take the smaller of our two templates and we're just going to figure out which angle we want it at. And if you're not sure, you can just put your hands together and kind of look to see what the pattern would look like in between your hands right there, and then put your template right there. Now, I just used a Sharpie and I go ahead and I trace right around our template. And a tip for using the Sharpie to do this, it works really well, but it can leave black all over your hands unless you take a Kleenex or a napkin or something, and once you have it all traced out, just kind of blot with that Kleenex and get up any excess ink that's left on your scarf there. And that works great, and then when you go to cut this out, you won't get ink all over yourself. Now that it's all drawn on, just take your scissors and go ahead and cut that out. Now making one of these flowers uses very little of your material of your scarf, so you actually would have enough to do probably 3, maybe even 4 of these flowers if you wanted to, using just the one scarf. Now that's for the smaller part of your template, as you can see right there. Now for the larger template, we're going to use all black. And you can see the smaller one's just going to fit right on top of the larger one when we do it. But right now we're going to use the larger one and we're going to cut it out of the black. Now, usually you can get a black scarf at Dollar Tree. Mine just didn't have any black scarves this time. So, but you could certainly just go and get a black scarf at Dollar Tree. If not, I got this fleece at Walmart. I got a 1/2 yard for about $2.21. And so it was real inexpensive, and I only used just a fraction of that. So I'm using it for several projects. Then just go ahead and trace that template on there and cut it out just the same as what we did with our smaller buffalo check one. And you can see them both right there. And so they're not perfectly symmetrical on both sides, and that does not matter whatsoever, like I said. And when we put these together, we're just going to go ahead and put that smaller one right on top of the bigger one. But we're not quite to that point yet. I'm just showing you what it's going to look like as we move on to that point. Now you may see that there's some Sharpie still on that buffalo check one. Don't worry about that. It's not going to show when we actually finish our flower up. Now right now we're going to use some floral wire. It's 26 gauge floral wire, and you can just get this at the Dollar Tree. You can get it at Walmart, any craft store. And you're going to measure out 12 inches, then fold it in half, and just go all the way down to the end of that 12 inches. And then you're just going to cut it. You don't need wire cutters for this. It's such a thin wire, you can just go ahead and use your scissors. And again, we're just doing the same thing again. Now, what you're going to want to do is do this 6 times because we're going to need 6 of these wires. I'll just show you the second one here, and then you have it, and I'm sure you understand what I'm saying, so I won't show you each of those. Now, once you have all 6 of your wires cut, just go ahead and put your finger right in the middle of your wire at the where it folded, and then just go ahead and twist your hand and your finger around. That way it just kind of twists your wire onto itself, and it just makes it a little easier to work with, and much more so than if it was just folded in half. Now you should have 6 wires. Just go ahead and push those out of the way. Take your smaller template once again and draw 5 more leaves of your poinsettia leaves onto your buffalo scarf. And once you have 5 more drawn out, then go ahead and just cut those out. And now you should have 6 buffalo check small leaves all at once. And just set those aside. And now let's do the same with our larger one. Using your black material, drawing it out with your Sharpie and blotting it, just like I told you, so you don't get ink everywhere. Go ahead and draw out 5 more of the larger templates and cut those out. And now you should have 6 of your larger all black templates as well. Now you have 6 of each, and you should have 6 of your wires. And so we're all set to start going ahead and assembling them. We're going to just take 1 wire and 1 of the small buffalo check, and on here notice that I have where the black from the Sharpie, you can still see it on there. Make sure that part is facing up. And now we're just going to hot glue that wire right onto that small template of that small leaf of our. And now we're just going to go ahead and hot glue that wire right on there, right through the center, from the top all the way down to the bottom. And you just want that glued real good. And now we're going to go ahead and take one of our pieces of black poinsettia leaf, and we're going to hot glue just around the bottom of our buffalo check leaf. From the bottom, about halfway up is all we're going to go. That way we can still hold on to the top, and it's just easier to have a little more control when we flip it and put it right on top of our black poinsettia leaf. And then just gently pat it down, and then you can flip it over, pull it back so you can finish hot gluing from the back side, the smaller leaf. And don't forget to go ahead and hot glue that center wire again as well. And then just go ahead and pat it down. And now you have this first leaf all put together here. And let's go ahead and do one more like this. Hot glue that wire right on there. all the way from the top, all the way down. Now at the end of this video, I'm going to also show you where I did this with the red and black buffalo check, as well as then instead of the all black, red material. And so you'll get a chance to see one of both. Go ahead and again, just gluing the bottom portion of your leaf from about halfway down, and then back up, halfway back up. And then you can hold the top as you flip it and put it right on top of your black larger leaf. And now fold your black leaf back and finish gluing the buffalo check leaf. And don't get your glue too close to the edge, so when you gently pat it down, when you fold it back over, you don't want the hot glue coming out or seeping out beyond the edges of your plaid buffalo check material. Then just gently pat that down. And there you have another one. Now just finish all the rest of them like this. And when you're done, you should have 6 poinsettia leaves all set there. Now what we're going to do is I got these little silver bells from Dollar Tree. And we're going to need 6 of those. They're the ones with the 32 bells in a package. And we're going to use some more wire. And once again, we're going to take that same wire. We're going to measure out 12 inches and fold it down again, the exact same way we did before, and then we're going to cut it again. And once again, we're going to need 6 of these. Now, once you have it all cut, you do not need to put your finger in and twist it. This time you can just kind of pinch your wires together and then go ahead and thread that bell right in there. And then fold your wires in half again so that bell ends up right in the middle of there. And now what you can do is put your finger in between the 2 wires that you just put together, and then hold the bell in your other hand and then just twist your bell. Give it a good 3 or 4 twists, and that will just make sure that your bell is securely fastened onto the end of that wire. Then if you'd like, you can just give a few little twists to the rest of your wire just to help keep it together. And do that with all 6 of your bells and your wires there. And those are going to be the pistons on our flowers. And there you have it. There's our little bells. Now what we're going to do is set those aside and go back to our leaves. And what we're going to do is take our hot glue and just put a dab of hot glue right at the end of our buffalo check leaf. And now we're going to just pinch the sides up and hold it together for a few seconds until that cools, just in that shape. Now what I have here is a floral stem from a bunch of flowers that I had bought at Dollar Tree and used for a different project quite a while ago. I just always keep the stems. And we're going to use those as the stem of our poinsettia plant. So just set that off to the side. And now take 3 of your leaves, and I'm just going to braid these 3 wires together. It will just make it kind of easier to handle when we attach it to our floral stem. And it will make it so that they can't come out when they're all wrapped up. It makes it harder for them to just come out individually that way. And you know what they say, a 3/4 strand is always stronger. Now, if you didn't start your braid all the way up at the top, well, just turn it around so it's facing you and just braid it a little bit further until you get it up as high as what you need it that way. And now all three of them are all braided together. And now we're just going to grab the other three and we're going to do the exact same thing. Again, just braiding it like as if you'd be braiding your daughter's hair or somebody's hair. And if you don't know how to braid, just twisting them all together, that's perfectly fine. You're just trying to get it so that they're all together, so they're not individual. And we're going to do the exact same thing with our bells. 3 together and braid them together, then the other 3 together and braid those together. Now once we're done with that, you can see I took the floral stem that I had and I'm just going to put the bells one on each side of it and just kind of hold it with my hands. Then I'm going to grab our stem of our leaves with our wire right there, and I'm just going to hold that right against our floral stem. And now I'm going to get the other set of leaves and hold the wire from that one against the back. And you can kind of see how the flower is going to be looking. And now we have all these wires in the stem in the back. We're going to grab some floral tape and starting way up at the top, we're just going to be twisting our flower around and around so that we can adhere that floral tape real nice and securely all the way on there. We're going to just twist it and twist it, working that floral tape all the way to the end. And now if you still have a few wires sticking out, just go ahead and cut those off. You don't want any sharp, pokey wires sticking out there. And now just continue to wrap that floral tape all the way down there, covering all that up at the end, and then work your way right back to the top of your stem again with that floral tape. And then just go ahead and cut it off and pull it tight and adhere that last little bit. And that stem was really just that easy to create. Now you can just rearrange your flowers the way you would like them. And you can see that it's looking great. Now we have a little bit of hot glue that we just need to clean up there that's stuck on the back, but it looks fantastic. Now don't forget you have wires in each of your leaves, so you can bend your leaves down, you can bend your leaves up. If you want your leaves to just be perfectly straight, you can do that. It's completely at your own discretion, whatever will make you happy. Here it is in the red buffalo check, and here's the back of the red buffalo check. Again, just using the red fleece and the buffalo check, and there they are together. I hope you really enjoyed this video, and I hope this inspires you to go and make some poinsettia flowers. And if you notice, they're on my Christmas tree that I upcycled, so if you haven't seen that video, go and check it out with all my other videos. And if you like this video, I'd really appreciate it if you'd give me a thumbs up and subscribe and hit the bell so you'll be around for the next time I do my next DIY or shop with me or one of my other videos.